to go and stop this crazy, insane escalation of this virus, of how many people die and all this. And the only way we can do it is by working together.
Let's go. I love it, man. I love it. You're speaking the truth like you always do, Arnold, and I really appreciate that. That's great. Let me ask you, if I may. We're in California. You know, we live in California. Different states have been approaching this in a different way versus, you know, shutting their economies down versus not shutting their economies down. There's also a division along that line. Is there anything like if you were governor, how would you handle this differently? Is there something differently you would do, or a different approach you could see us taking?
Well, I'm sure that our government here in California is doing everything that they can. And, you know, but the fact of the matter is we have a very fragmented system. It is ludicrous for us to think that each state should do their own thing. I think that we have to have a national approach. As soon as this virus began, we should have had a national approach, just like they have in Australia. In Australia, they had a very severe, very serious lockdown, as you remember. And because of that, they really got rid of the problem. And now they have rock and roll concerts, they have music concerts, they have restaurants open, they can go to the theaters and all this kind of stuff. And there's many other countries like that. There's a national approach where everyone comes together. In California or in America, the states are doing different things, then districts are doing different things, and cities are doing different things. And so everyone has their own opinion about what should be done. We're not going to do this, we're going to do that. And it becomes a political issue again. So I think this is the wrong approach. We have to work together as a whole nation. This is where the power comes, you know. And so and I think that I, of course, am because you asked me about when I was governor, we had a pandemic stockpile that I created. And that was, we spent $200 million on that, because I believe in the 7 Ps. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance, right? So this is like, it's just very simple. So you go and prepare, because something like this can happen. It has happened in the history, in the past, and it will happen again. Not just this virus, other viruses will come. So this is why I decided that we're going to prepare and put together a stockpile. You know, a pandemic stockpile with, you know, thousands and thousands of ventilators, and to have masks, millions of masks and gear to protect people and all this stuff. All this, and then of course, then, you know, after I left, they dismantled the whole thing because they didn't want to pay the $5 million upkeep every year. So this is kind of penny wise, pound foolish. And this is the kind of things that government does. And then, of course, people have to pay for the consequences after that. And this is what we see now, restaurants closing up and all this stuff. And so I personally think that sometimes we have to have tough measures, but I think you have to be also sensitive about how we go about it. You can't just close every restaurant. I mean, you can't go to the people, the restaurant owners, and say, hey, you can go and serve food outdoors. So then they serve food outdoors, and they're building all this stuff outside, spending a fortune of money to build all this stuff outside so they can serve outside. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later, they go and say, you have to close that too. Why are we closing outdoor restaurants? I don't understand that, because there's really no case that it shows that has spread, that there was a huge spread that came from outdoor eating. Doesn't exist. So there's some people that get punished in a kind of unfair way, I think. You know, this is just my personal opinion. And I also think that government should be really concentrating on what can we do now for those restaurants. What you're doing right now, a charity event, you know, to feed everybody. Well, the government can go and keep those restaurants open and make them cook food for the hungry people that have no food. So the government can go and pay now the restaurants so they can stay open, not to serve food there, but to serve food and to deliver it to the people that really need the food. So there's all kinds of things that you can do like that really will help to keep people employed and to keep people food on the table, get them food on the table and all this stuff. So you just have to think it through rather than just being very rigid about all of this stuff. And then with the vaccine, as you can see, I mean, when you have the president promising the nation that 100 million vaccines will be delivered by the end of the year. Then we find out there's only 20 million that will be delivered by the end of the year. So then people get fed up about politicians lying all the time and saying things that they don't really mean. You know, then the 20 million get delivered, and then there's only like a small fraction, like, you know, 17% or so that have gotten now the vaccine. Because we have this protocol that you can't give anyone a vaccine before the healthcare workers in the hospitals and the nurses and the doctors get it. Well, you can do it there simultaneously. You don't have to just wait until they all get it, and then you start going and giving, you know, the vaccine to people over 75 or something like this. So I think that there are mistakes that are being made all the time, but the key thing is I think we have to work together as a team.
Wow, I couldn't agree more. I think you're right. I think working together is, it's hard to see, it's hard to see how that can happen right now. I guess it's just getting the right people in place, and maybe
we just have to inspire people.
Yeah.
We just have to, this is the important thing. And I think that celebrities, like you had on a bunch of celebrities on your show, and by the way, I have to tell you that you should be a talk show host besides an actor, because what you have done today, the way you've interviewed people, it made it really interesting. I watched the entire thing. It was wonderful to just hear Jamie, Foxx talking about his training and getting ready for this movie and to do this and that and to get in shape and all this. And you see Bryce Howard, to talk about her acting and directing and about all this stuff and her passion about it. It's just wonderful to hear all this stuff. So you should be a talk show host. Remember, there's 24 hours a day. You just don't have to sleep. You're 8 hours. You get up a little earlier, or you go to bed a little later, and you have a talk show at the same time.
Yeah,
I think Catherine would like that. You spend
I think she
time
would
at home.
honestly, I might like that better than being an actor. If I could just do a show in 20 minutes from the house and make it a gig, I might do it. I honestly might do it. If it means I don't have to go to, I don't know. I've got maybe one day. It's a fallback plan. Thank you. That means the world to me, Arnold.
No,
really
absolutely.
Does.
I mean, people always say to me, "Says why do you say so many great positive things about Chris Pratt? Just because he's your brother-in-law, your son-in-law?" And I said, "No, it's not because he's my son-in-law. I said it's because of that." I said, "But there's so many things we have in common, right? I mean, think about that. I mean, we both love Catherine.
Yep.
We both are into acting. We both like working out.
Yep.
And we both have no Oscar. I mean, so there's a lot of things that we have in common. Think about that for a second. I mean, it's wild, So this is why I just love you. I mean, you're fantastic.
Oh man, wow. Well, I feel a lot better about not having an Oscar now, because if I did, then it would.
I will remind you. I will remind you regularly.
Arnold, man, listen, you are a classic. You're an original. You're awesome. I'm really lucky to have you in my life, and I appreciate you giving me some of your time on New Year's Eve. It's really nice of you to sign on and do this with me.
I want to tell you that I'm a man of action. I don't want to just talk about things. I want to do it. And this is why I want to donate $10,000 to your charity today here, because I think that you need the money. I think there's so many people out there that need the food. I think the organization is fantastic that you're doing this for. So I think it's really great. So I just want to be a part of it, not just to talk about it, but to actually do something about it.
Wow. Thank you, Arnold. That's 100,000 meals. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You are a man of action indeed. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, and I'm proud of you.
Awesome.
Okay, and give my love to Catherine.
I sure will. I will. Okay. You bet I will. All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Love you. See you. Bye-bye.
Love you too, man.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Well, I'm gonna cry, man. That was awesome. That was really awesome. Wow. God is good. I am blessed. That was beautiful. So that was awesome. I'm kind of blown away. Okay. Well, thank you so much to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I didn't. Wow. Listen, I've got something to show you guys here. As I mentioned before, I got my break on Parks and Recreation, and I've been thinking a lot about how Leslie Knope and the department would have handled this pandemic. I do know that just like us, they'd want us to sing bye-bye to 2020. That was a joke that didn't work. It was bye-bye, Little Sebastian. Anyways, the song still does hold up. Anyways, I had my friends from Parks and Rec send me some videos, and let's see if I can get this going here. Okay, stand by. Like I said, high tech. And by the way, Arnold's 10,000 just put us over $600,000 from over 9,000 donors. So we're over $600,000. So amazing. Here you go. I've got a nice video from my friends at Parks and Recreation.
Hello, Chris. I got your request to record a video. I'm out surviving in the Sonoran Desert of Mexico. I remember when Carl Reiner was on Parks and Recreation, he said, That Chaz Pratt, he called you Chaz, as handsome as the day is long, that's what he said, but don't trust him with your money. Is that the kind of messaging you're looking for? Let me think about it.
Hi, everyone. It's Amy Poehler, just wishing you a happy new year and reminding you to please give generously. There are so many people in need. And let's get to next year together and with a new sense of hope for all people. And let's get this year done with. And if you don't believe me, take it from Helen Slayton Hughes, a.k.a. Ethel Beavers from Parks and Recreation.
Hello, everybody. Wonderful to have a visit from Amy Poehler. It's beautiful. And you do what she tells you to. Got that? I said so. All right. Put my mask back on. Bye.
Chris, I'm still thinking. Feed thy neighbor. That sounds like one of your ploys when your trailer was next to my trailer and you told me to order an extra slab of ribs and then you took it. Is this that kind of thing?
Hello, everyone. I just got some sort of text from Chris Pratt about a charity. I don't really know what it is or what it's about, but all I can tell you is please donate as much as you can right now.
Aw.
So